Hello, hello, welcome to patch 7.1 of Gilganos playing Dawntrail. Sounds weird, but that's just how it is, unfortunately. Episode 23, I think, like if you go by the... No, 21, 22. Something in between that. We're doing patch 7.1 today. MSQ, the one dungeon that is new. Yuweyawata station, something like that, right? Which, I've seen screenshots, I haven't been in it, obviously. But it looks like a Resident Evil area, right? So that's gonna be fun, right? Yeah, I need to go to bed rather soonish, so let's go! Alright, Bolburuk. A royal invitation. Of course, the first quest immediately has Kulamot in the picture, right? So, yay. Like, with the 4 or 5 months that we had since the release, I was really longing for what we didn't have in these 5 months, being the side characters. So, yay! I'm really looking forward to this. Yay. It's actually kind of surprising, that Wuklamot didn't appear in M4S and just kill Steel's Wicked Thunder, right? It's actually kind of, yeah. Bolburuk is eager to hear how you have been getting on. It is a pleasure as always, Yomi. Have you been able to relax lately? No, I've literally done Juno today with my old character and then had reclears in M1 to M4. Which was actually kind of chill. Pretty good. But not really relaxing, I would say. Wonderful, yeah. Good thing you've been listening, Bolburuk, thank you. As busy as you've been with the Rite of Succession, among other things, you deserve an opportunity to experience Tuliolal at a more leisurely pace. Sampling the tacos at Spaljavtie is one such way to do so. They are made the traditional way and laden with fillings and are absolutely sublime. If you have an empty stomach, the owner, Brooke Avo, will look after you. Yeah, I... Wait, no, that's the other one, right? It's one we... No, wait. Is that the one that we've eaten together with Prish? I don't even remember. No, I think with Prish we ate the ones from... On tea, right? Alright, hello Brookhaven. Been a while. I think? I'm not even sure. Hello, but isn't Yummy alone today, are you? Yes! Fortunately! Probably not too long, unfortunately. I see. If you have a hankering for tacos, then they're on the house. Oh, thank you. If I had known that, I'd come every day. Consider it a token of gratitude for your help tracking down those treasures. Go ahead and find a table. I'll bring you your meal as soon as it's ready. Sure. Why can I not sit here? Why can I only sit at this one table? There's so many tables. I want to choose my own table. Riot! I want to sit at my own table. I'm gonna trash the place. Ooh. Yum. Funny enough, I did just have a taco. Actually a fajita, but it's basically the same, right? You still love tacos, I hope? You had so many when you... What? When you turned 5, you could barely move forwards, remember that? Who's talking? With whom? Those guys. Sure. They seem not familiar. No, not really. It was 30 years ago for me. Oh, okay, it's one out of the reflection and one local. Right, sorry. It's so strange for me too. Just the other day you were a little boy, clinging to your mother's skirt as you set off for your Solani. I hear a man grown with a full face full of hair. Even though I knew you were my son the instant I saw you, that's weird. Yeah. We're still family and you can always rely on me. He's probably older than his dad now. That's strange, yeah. Relying. It feels like the only thing I'm doing right now. And you and everyone else. Can't even start a fire without assistance at my new job. Back in Alexandria with Electrope. If I needed fire, all I had to do was press a button. Everything was at our fingertips. I mean, Alexandria's still there, no? Then why... I mean, you can still live there, no? But here I'm hopeless. A culinarian who can't even light the stove. The way the others in the kitchen stared at me... God, I'd never felt so embarrassed. I'm sorry to hear that. I've been told the tales, but it seems life is really different within the dome. My wife and children... I was thinking I'd have them join me once things had settled. But at this rate, I'd probably just go back. I say you sent for them. If they're your family, then they're mine too. They do whatever's necessary to make it work. Why do they want to have them here? I mean, they could just... Doesn't it make more sense for them to stay at Alexandria? I mean, did I miss any? Oh god, no. Here we go. Did I miss anything? I mean, they could just still be living at Alexandria, no? I mean, you can still go to Solution 9 and it's same as always. Except for they probably don't have the regulators anymore, right? I didn't mean to overhear, but it seems you're having trouble readjusting to life in Tuliolal. Wow, Vuklamat. Unfortunately. For 8 folk like yourself, we've established a support group at the Wing of Reflection. There you can learn the skills you need to live outside the dome. It isn't easy being back, I know, but I'm hopeful that they can make things easier. That's exactly what I need. I'll definitely seek this group out, and I'll bring my family with me. Thank you. Really? That's... wow. You don't want to see first, you know, like what this group is all about, and... well, okay. I really hope she gets put in her place at some point. It's so annoying how her super overly positive demeanor is just always gets through and always saves the day. It's oh, look who it is! I was just about to go and find you, Yumi. You don't mind the company, I hope? No, please, I do mind. Please, let me just eat my tacos in peace. Then again, like I did have kind of like 4 months of peace, right? So I guess we can bear with her for a few hours. I could use a bite to eat myself. Kind of funny how I'm just sitting there with my sword-sized daggers without a sheath, right? It's like... the tacos here never disappoint. So what have you been up to lately? I don't know, the usual. Like finding victories in the Arcadian, slaying beasts, and yeah, we're looking forward to, you know, like today in 2 weeks. No, not today. Actually, in 8 days, 9 days. You know, like we're gonna have some features rewritten. That's gonna be an ultimate fun, right? The ultimate fun. I've been catching up on sleep. Well, not really. Actually, I've done all of that. I've been making a name for myself at the Arcadian. Oh yeah, actually, I still need to do the role quests. I think I've done 2 so far. If heading in the arena in Alexandria, by facing off against tough opponents, I'd wager you've honed your skills even further. Yeah, also I switched back to Ninja after playing Viper for the whole tier. Because, you know, I can run faster and I'm an old man, so maybe that's gonna, hopefully that's gonna save my hours in FRU. As for myself, I'm being kept busy with duties at the palace. Good! I like that. Get out of my... sorry. But whenever I find a moment, I like to walk the streets and talk to the people. That way I can better understand the problems they have and share them with Kona to figure out solutions. I was on one such walk just now, and as I mentioned, I was hoping to find you. We just randomly walk through the whole city and be like, maybe I stumble upon Yomi, who I don't even know if she's in the city, you know, like, I could be literally anywhere on the planet. And off the planet. And on other planets that are exactly like this planet, but in other dimensions. So, lucky you! But I have something we want to discuss with you, as Dawn Servants. We have time to come to the palace. Are you finally acknowledging me as a strong being, as a mighty being that might be... No, I don't know where I'm going with that sentence. Let's see what the Dawn Servants want from me. Great, I didn't even say anything. I go on ahead. Please come and join us once you've finished here. Seems Kona's gone somewhere. Sorry. Wow, okay. Your planning skills are impeccable. Mr. Yomi, it is always an honor. Bao Kona stepped away to attend to a pressing matter, but he should join you before long. Yeah, sure, I'm just gonna drink some coffee with Buklamat, I guess. Actually, tea. Actually, well, if it's tea without caffeine, because I kinda stopped drinking caffeine, right? That's high gra. Fun having you here. I don't even remember anymore when he actually joined in the MSQ. I think it was when we built the bomb, right? With a very smiley song. Oh, you're all here too? Maukona summoned us. Though, if truth be told, Alpino and I have been seeing him quite regularly of late. He asked us to share our knowledge of Hainish culture, you see, in hopes of further strengthening your alliance. We were, of course, happy to oblige him. Nobody asked me to do anything like that. Ryle and I were likewise summoned. You know, like, I am Azam, well, not really, but you know what I mean. We've seen so many different cultures, but nobody ever asks me for my opinion, right? Kinda. Otherwise, we've been carrying on with our work, compiling information on the Golden City. Huh? Why do we still do that? My grandfather embarked on his investigation 20 years ago. With our report, we shall finish what he started. Oh, just... okay, like that. No particular reason, I guess. Lest you wonder, Thancred and Urianger have left to resume their tour of Tural. They were taking a tour? No, it's been 4 months since the end of the MSQ. I have no idea what people were up to back then. Eshtola, meanwhile, is back to researching cross-rift travel. She was here just a few days ago to get Kona's permission to investigate living memory. Oh yeah, I did by the way realize that I did not realize at the end of the MSQ, that the key we got, the key to presumably interdimensional travel, had the symbol of Azam on top of it, right? I didn't realize at that point, and it doesn't really phase me so far. So I mean, yay! Asians got to have their hands in it somewhere, right? So I mean, that's gonna be fun. Let's see what we're gonna do with that, right? It doesn't really mean anything to me at this point. We're gonna see what they make with it in the future, right? By the way, she mentioned wanting to take a look at the key in your keeping at some point. Oh, I have the key, right? Well, it makes sense. If the look she had in her eyes was any indication, I suggest you brace yourself for when she comes calling. You'd like to be stuck with her for a while. I mean, who would mind being stuck with Yashola for a while, right? As for Estinian, we know neither where he is nor what he is doing. Some things never change. It was really just a cameo in Dawntrail so far, so not really surprising. My apologies for the delay. Oh, so you did know that we would be coming? Well, okay. Think nothing of it. We took advantage of the time to catch up. So what can we do for you? Hopefully present company is enough for whatever it is you need. Oh no, it's getting serious. That of which I have summoned you pertains to Alexandria. A state funeral will soon be held in Solution 9 to mourn the passing of Queen Sphene. You know, she died, like, a long time ago. It was just her memories that died. It's just kind of funny. Why do they even hold a funeral? You know, like so far they would just erase the memories of those who die, right? But do they even know how to hold a funeral? They literally didn't hold any funerals like past, I don't know how many generations, so doesn't make sense, but okay. King Galuja and his administration have invited us to attend. Actually, we literally did Queen Sphene Extreme 5 days ago, I think. No, less than that. 1, 2, 3 days ago. So yeah, we kind of killed her again. So I guess the funeral is kind of on point. While certain issues remain unresolved between our nations, such as the treatment of Yesulani, I see no reason not to attend. For generations, the Alexandrians lived without even the awareness of death. I wouldn't have expected them to have funeral rites still. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Raha. Apparently, the members of Oblivion unearthed records of ceremonies that were conducted in the Alexandria of old. It was they who put forth the proposal that the queen be thus honored. Makes sense. But kind of suggesting I was kind of suspecting that it's probably Oblivion. Well, not necessarily Oblivion, but, you know, people who remember the dead because they didn't have the regulators, right? Because why would anybody else be like, yeah, let's hold a funeral for her, when they literally don't know what a funeral is? Leave it to that lot to think of such things. The people of Alexandria no longer forget the departed. They're being confronted with the idea of death for the first time. I suspect our friends wanted to do something for them. Though Sphene was but a simulacrum, she was nonetheless a pillar for her people. The pain of her passing must run deep. Indeed. You know, will give Alexandrians the chance to come together to express their grief, that they might overcome it. I wasn't sure at first, but I've decided to go. Not only to be there for Galulja, but to put this chapter behind us. It's kind of funny to say that, you know, like when they just released the extreme version of the trial. Like, okay, no more Queen Sphene now. Oh, by the way, you have an extreme with Queen Sphene. That I requested your presence was none other than to see if you wish to attend the funeral. You know Sphene as well, after all. Yeah, kinda intimately at this point. Also should go. Why would that be inappropriate? Because we killed her? Well... no. I think I should go too. Because you consider yourself responsible for her demise, I take it. But that's not a burden you bear alone. Unfortunately... Thank you, Square Enix. I would have loved to take that burden on myself alone, but... You had to come barging in. Here's my idea. As vow, I'll attend the funeral as a representative of Tuliolal. Meanwhile, you can go in a personal capacity and watch over the people as they mourn. What do you mean, watch over the people? Protect them from evil tier monsters. Like how? What? Why watch over them? What? I feel the rest of us should go too. Regardless of the reason, the fact remains that we deprived Alexandria of a beloved ruler. It's only right that we remember who Sphene was, to her people and to others. So let us stand with you. I would take you anywhere, Kryl. And Graha. Everybody else, bah. Just stay wherever you are. Oh, it's it's fine. I didn't read. Why did I not read what you were saying? You were saying... Then it's decided. Let's head to Solution 9 and look for Galulja in the back room. Why is he... What? Why is he in the back room? Like in the back room where we had the... Of the bar? I think it was a bar, right? A crossroads. Alright. Welcome to patch 7.1. Though I too would ideally attend the funeral, given the circumstances, I think it's best that Lamati represents us. Besides, I need to be on hand to oversee the city's repairs, which is taking longer than expected. When that work is complete, we will finally look into installing new thrones. Oh wow, that's important? Okay, well, like, yes. Can't just sit on that. That's big enough for both of you, no? But their father's throne still... Here still. It makes me feel he's close by. I'm quite happy for it to remain for a while. Okay. Hello, people. Been a while. Glad to see the invitation reached you. As you may have heard, we were able to find data on forgotten funeral customs amidst old records. It appears to have been preserved by those who rue the loss of culture due to the proliferation of regulators. We're grateful for their foresight. Okay. Actually, exactly what they wanted to do. Someone had the foresight, yeah. They were literally talking about foresight. It's good of you to come. We're expecting a large attendance for the funeral. The venue isn't like to hold everyone at once. But the altar will remain for those who couldn't be present during the ceremony. We ourselves plan to go and pay our respects afterwards. Don't let me talk to you. Hey, I've heard of the Rodina Consortium. I absolutely can't stand that lot, let me tell ya. Well, that's why I gave the next cicada wide berth. Even the residential district's too close for my liking, so I just crashed here. Well, okay. Hello, Galuja. Ah, you came for the funeral. Of course, I'm the only one who'll officially take part though. The others will watch over the proceedings. So how have you been? It's been a while since my last visit. I'm good. Hale is always teaching me new things. Recently I've learned about Everkeep's systems and the mechanical soldiers. It's knowledge I need to use my authority properly. Studious as always, I see. By way of a treat, I've brought you gâteau au chocolat. It's a kind of cake. I think you'll like it. Gâteau. Thank you, Lamati, and thank you for coming. I've never been to a funeral before, so I feel less nervous having you here. Out of curiosity, what's the custom in Alexandria? In our world, it's common to offer flowers to the departed. It's much the same here, according to the records. Flowers will be distributed to all attendees. Considering that all the worlds used to be one, the practice of offering flowers may well share the same ancient origin. Fascinating, wouldn't you say? Not really. Yeah, well, fascinating, yes, but I mean, I don't think the ancients would. Well, maybe they did. I mean, they did kind of. I mean, I guess they did kind of celebrate the passing of someone, right? Because usually for the ancients it was on their own will to go, right? So I mean, I know maybe they did offer flowers, which is kind of weird because. I would assume that the ancients would hold a ceremony while the soon-to-be dead person was still alive, right? So I don't know. I'm not sure if that kind of fits. I mean, why not? Maybe they gave them flowers. Who knows? Although I've been in the back room before, there was no time to see the sights. I should likely take a closer look at the equipment. Well, yourself out. It's a relief to see that Galuja is doing well. He's been through too much for one so young. And nobody else has. Well, actually, here, people probably haven't. Papa always said he didn't want a somber funeral, so we celebrated his life together with our victory. I'm sure he would have loved it. I like to think he was watching us from the world beyond, filling his cup every time we filled our own. What do you mean, world beyond? We know that spirits just return to the ethereal sea. I don't think they can watch us from there, can they? From a group that plotted to undermine a tyrant king from the shadows to one that aids their fellow citizens in the open, Oblivion has come a long way. For the people to take it on themselves to organize and hold a funeral, it speaks for their enduring love of Speen. While we proposed the funeral, the royal administration took on the brunt of the planning. One of their number can better explain what the ceremony will entail. It's been a while since I've spoken a lot of English, I have to say. No, actually not. I've literally streamed yesterday, so... Alexandria Mourns. Galuja wishes to go and collect his flower for the funeral. Just one. The flowers are being handed out at Praxis Park. I'm thinking of heading over there now. I'll join you. There's a man I would like to speak with. Gosan. He was apparently Sphyn's aide, and the one who sent us the invitation. Come on, let's go. Muklamat's attendance will surely help strengthen the relations between the two nations. I get the strong impression that both Tuliolal and Alexandria wish to put this tragic past behind them. Here he is, Gosan. It makes sense that Sphyn had loyal aides such as Gosan, given how much time she dedicated to walking among her people. While it appears souls are still being issued, supply must be limited now that they're no longer being harvested. The grim faces in the queues tell the tale. What do they even need souls for? I mean, can't they just stop dying? Like, what else do they need souls for? Judging from all the activity, I presume the funeral will be held here. All correspondence was being handled by the Wing of Reflection, so this is my first time speaking with Ghassan. Who's the Wing of Reflection? Or what's the Ring of Reflection? Why, I'm Vow Vuklamat of Tuli Yolal. Thank you for extending us an invitation to Queen Spheen's funeral. We are honored, truly. I had seen you before from a distance, but never had the pleasure. I am Ghassan, former chief aide of the Queen. Since her passing, I have been responsible for administering affairs of state. Can we get our flowers here? Yes, Your Majesty. The flowers are being handed out at the counter yonder, alongside the regulators. What? We need to wear regulators for the funeral? Rest assured, they are not a requirement. We're aware you people do not use them. You see, people in the Alexandria of old wore tokens of mourning upon their persons when attending funerals. As such tokens were black, it was suggested that we might wear regulators painted the same color. We've yet to produce enough for everyone, but we are distributing them as we are able. I see. Yet, regulator or no, the important thing is that we remember Queen Spheen. Remember her and her kindness as you make an offering of your flower. I will. Proceedings will soon begin in this plaza. Please, take your place once you have your flower. Spheen! Oh, wow, okay. I was just like, why is everybody standing on guard, basically? That's a lot of people. Everybody. Some social distancing. Are they all lined up like? That's it. It just that's it. Oh, there we go. Nobody's allowed to sit. Wow.
Although we are gathered here for the same reason, we hail from different lands. Some were born and raised in the Alexandria of old, while others came to us from Tuliolal. It was from this union of diverse peoples that a new Alexandria was born. The only home that our younger generation knows. How did we overcome the barriers between us? What moved us to join hands in common purpose beneath crackling skies?
I'm still wondering, like, is that all, like, residential buildings? Is every single one of these lit windows we can see, is that like an apartment? I mean, if that's the case, there must be millions living here in Solution 9, right? Or at least hundreds of thousands. Depending on how big this is, right? I still don't know how they actually sustain that. Seeing, you know, like, the small farms that they had in Heritage Found and stuff, right? But then again, the farms were actually kind of new, right? That they were being started by the Tuliolan people. I think they have like different kinds of foods, right? We have that one scene in, I don't remember what it was called, you know, like wherever we get the scripts and tombstone and exchange and stuff like that. Wasn't it like steak in a tube or something like that? Oh.
You know the answer. We survived. We thrived because Queen Spheen brought us together.
Oh yeah, I think they just used electrope and electricity, right? To use food, something like that. Bean! Well, we've seen a different side of her.
Inspired and encouraged by her boundless kindness, we strove to be better, for ourselves as well as those around us. And in Her Majesty's absence, there is a sadness beyond words.
That was a long pause.
Yet we
Come on.
We
Oh, come on, get on with it.
remember her. Remember all the good that she has done for us.
Remember us.
So
Remember
let us
that we
pray,
once lived.
as the people of the Old Kingdom once did, for the peaceful repose of the departed.
All the copy-paste people in the background. I see that one U model like 5 times.
And let us keep our beloved queen
And the Allison
forever in our hearts.
6 times.
That her memory might guide us unto the morrow. Would that I could find solace in my own words.
There's gonna be lots of flowers there. I think that pedestal is kind of small. If every single one can bring a flower. Oh, they didn't even take off their headphones. Wow. Well, okay. All of them have. I know they're part of the attire, but still, you know. Oh, maybe we shouldn't have come. Do they actually know? They probably don't, but that we literally killed Sphene. Well, I mean, we didn't. She was still just memories, but you know what I mean. Were you carrying the flower for Ulucha? I was. Oh no, he does have one of his own. Okay. You know, you should put the first ones further behind so that the people that come after you don't need to reach over a wall of flowers when they want to place theirs, right? But hey, foresight is not something everyone's graced with.
Was Queen Sphene taken to the cloud?
She was already in the cloud. She was deleted from the cloud.
To still remember her is strange, isn't it, darling? I miss her. She would always cheer me up when I was down. But even
That's kind of
though
stupid.
I remember her, I'll never see her again. That doesn't make sense.
Wow. Concept of death, right? I mean, she could have also just gone away. Then you also don't see them. But I'm saying it doesn't make sense. It's like, as far as I know, Sphene was a simulacrum, but she still was only at one place at a time, right? But they act as if every single person in the whole freaking city, which, as I said before, might be thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people, they act as if they basically daily saw her on a daily routine, and if they would have talked to her on a daily routine, which is kind of like, how would that even work? If you assume that Queen Sphene was just always at one place at the same time. Like, huh?
It seems that's what it means to die, I'm afraid. But what will happen to us? Are we just going to be sad forever?
Probably not, no.
What will happen indeed?
I mean, you must have questioned the fact that, you know, like, people disappear. I mean, they might have not realized, you know, like, that people were erased from the memory, but I mean, you probably sit there at some point and be like, what actually happens to the people who die of old age? You know, like, Or were they just completely oblivious of the fact that their like life was limited, the lifespan? I mean, they know that the regulators don't work for cause of natural death, right? So, well, ignorance is bliss, I guess.
Everything that we have, we owe to Queen Sphene. How are we to go on without her?
That's also bullshit. Like, what did she even do? The only thing she did was walking around talking to people. Weren't you doing all the work that literally keeps your life? It's like, what are you talking?
I still remember Her Majesty so clearly. If only I didn't, I might feel better about the future of our realm.
Perhaps
Like-
we should also consider moving to Tuliolo. The journey won't be easy, but it'd be better than staying here in uncertainty.
Like, what are you even talking of? Like, Sphene obviously was just literally just a ceremony in a ceremonial position. She didn't like lead anything as far as I understood. Like, for the last 30 years, literally Zoralja was ruling you, and well, nobody's mourning Zoralja, as it seems like, for some reason. Maybe he was actually deleted from the memories. I'm not even sure. But like, what are you talking? She was more like an idol figure. She didn't put your daily food on your table, did she? Like, what the heck is going on? Also, I'm still not content with having no explanation as to the existence of Galuja. We still have no evidence of cloning technique in Solution 9 as far as I know. And there still is no other Mamulja that we've ever seen here. So how did Galuja come to be? Also, why would going to Tuliolo change anything? You still know how to...
These, I take comfort in the beliefs of a Turali people called the Yokui.
You still know how to operate your city and your machines and stuff, right? So why are you panicking? I don't understand.
Death isn't the end. So long as we're remembered, we never truly die. It could be the same for Queen Sphene, you know? If you keep her alive in your hearts, she'll always be with you.
But we still won't be able to see her, right? I don't want to think about that. I wish I could just forget instead of having to feel like this.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to impose. Please, mourn your queen however you see fit. As expected, they struggle to come to terms with their loss. I hope they can find a way to move forward.
I mean, we have to assume that in the last 4 months, other people died as well. You know, like grandparents, stuff like that. But everybody's mourning about Sphene. It's like Sphene was their only important person in their life. Like, yeah, and they're overdoing it a little. I mean, I wasn't old enough when Princess Diana died, but that seems to have been a huge thing, right? I guess maybe that was actually, you know, like the inspiration for this. I don't even know. But it wouldn't be that, I mean, would it? I don't know. I mean, as I said, I don't feel like Sphene was that much of an actual leading figure. I mean, it was Zoralja holding the reins, right? So, and her aides. I mean, she was literally just going around talking to the people, which is great, of course, great for a queen to do. But whatever.
It's not only grief that weighs on them, but worry for the future.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. What has the future to do with Sphene?
How will they proceed?
True. But with that at least, we're not powerless to help. What is it, Guloja?
I was wondering Is it better to remember or forget someone when they're dead?
Why are you looking so grim?
My father, and every time I think of him, it hurts. It's the same with Queen Sphene. Knowing that she's gone makes me feel sad. But it's different with my mother. I never knew her, so I don't feel as bad.
Wait. Who are you referring to as your mother? Queen Sphene? Because he did... No, he did know Sphene, right?
I want to remember my father, but maybe I'd be better off forgetting him.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Sphene would not have been able to have a child. Right? That would be really weird. I guess it was just a... by sentence. I don't think she ever thought he ever spoke of his mother before, right? If he even has one. Yeah, there's much too few flowers there for all the people there. Or do not all of them have flowers? No, I guess they don't. But they were handing out flowers, right? So everybody should have some flowers. Well, a flower, I guess. This seems a good place to continue a conversation. Why? It just randomly went somewhere else. I was expecting to sit in a cafe or something like that, you know? Like over there, on the tables. Hey, there's a... Vista. Simply leaving Alexandria won't solve all the problems, I fear. The problem runs deeper than that. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have brought that up. I hope the altar can provide comfort to those who need it. Seeing that child reminded me of myself. How hard it was for me to accept that grandfather was gone. But that sadness is what gave me the strength to come this far, and I would never choose to forget it. Never. Hey, Galuja, you really know nothing at all about your mother. Thank you. I was waiting so hard for this. Finally be addressed. I wonder if they were like, oh yeah, we kind of lost over the fact that, you know, like, there also needs to be a female part for Galuja to exist, right? And we're just like, let's put it in the patch content. Jail searched the system for information on residents, but the only Mamulja she found listed were my father and me. See? I was onto something the whole time. Even if she died and was erased from people's memories, she should have been there, but she wasn't. I guess in the end, he probably is just a clone. Or a copy or something like that, a magical copy, I don't know. Maybe he's also... No, no, he wouldn't be a simulacrum, right? If he was one, then he would have disappeared when we shut down Living Memory, I guess. Well, that you're here means she was here too, inside the dome. There can't be any other way about it. Oh, true, of course there might have been Mamuljas inside the dome, right? But we didn't see a single one, so... Also, he has blue scale, which is, I think... well, I guess his father has blue scales, even though that... Well, never mind. What will you say? Perhaps we should try looking again. I am very interested in this. Maybe. It's hard to explain. I'm not sad, but I feel like I'm missing something. Yeah, me too. Thank you, story writers. But admit it. Even if it makes me feel sad, I want to know my mother. See? Well, if that's what you want. Then I'd help you. Of course you would. I'd like to help as well, and I believe I speak for the others too. Sure, don't have anything better to do, I guess. But I can't bother you with this. You already came for the funeral. Oh, since we're already here, we could as well do that, right? Came in not only for the funeral, but to see whether all was well in Alexandria. You're not about to leave just yet. Besides, in seeking to learn about your mother, we're bound to learn about your father as well. By retracing the steps of this man who kept his own counsel, we may gain knowledge that can serve the people of Alexandria. Oh, so that's what the science station is all about, the research station, right? Maybe there was actually cloning technique going on there, and Sorolja kinda in like... Huh. Why would Sorolja want clones though if he had the souls? Alright, thank you everyone. What a happy little tune. Fits in right with the morning. There we go. That's the dungeon. In search of the past. Rohatia has an idea on how you may proceed with your investigation. Assuming neither memories nor records of Galuja's mother remain, we must cast as wide a net as possible. I suggest we split into groups. Yummy, if you could make inquiries outside in the outskirts, the rest of us will do the same in Solution 9. Why do I need to go outside? There's a lot of lightning out there, and sometimes it rains, and yeah, I have my good clothes on because I was going to the funeral. I don't want them to get wet. And why am I alone? Like, the outskirts are much bigger than Solution 9, aren't they? No. Well, actually, no. Like, do you go into every single building, every level, every floor, ask every single person in every single apartment? Middle-aged Yuweyawata. Sorry, but I've never heard of a Mamulja woman living in these parts, much less one connected to Sorolja. You might have better luck talking to the people over at Yuweyawata settlement. Over at Yuweyawata settlement to the north of Everkeep, in a place called Yuweyawata. The resident son won their loyalty when he saved them from some crisis or another, so the story goes. If I remember correctly, their chief's name was Kaniloka. Your exchange with the middle-aged Yuweyawata has taught you about Sorolja's Devoted. Sorolja's Devoted? Ugh. Okay, that's gonna be interesting. Fresh-faced Yuweyawata. You're looking for a Mamulja woman? Oh, Galuja's mother. I can't help you there, I'm afraid. I only know a little about Sorolja, and then only what my father told me. He said that before the dome cut us off from the outside world, a Tural withdrawal had appeared, and was terrorizing the region. Interesting. In response, Sorolja assembled a party of warriors, and with them confronted and felled the beast. It was interesting to hear of the king's feat in the past. So he wasn't all bad, I guess. Taught you about a battle with a Tural withdrawal. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I mean, next patch probably gonna have another trial, right? Or maybe the patch after. Within the sound of silence. That's always what the tune reminds me of. There we go, they do hide behind a below canopy. Chatty Chatona. A Mamulja woman? Huh, the people have never been a common sight around here. While the last time I saw one would have been before the dome came down over our heads. He was among an entourage of Landsguard that was dispatched here. I assume they all returned to Tuliolal after their mission. But if any remained, I suppose they could have been trapped in here with the rest of us. While I failed to learn anything directly related to Galuja's mother, I did find information which may shed some light upon Sorolja. Lamachi didn't seem to have much luck. How did you fare? Yeah. F a lead, I guess. I'm sorry, but I couldn't find out anything useful. None of the people I questioned had heard of a Mamulja one before. Solution 9 is vast indeed. Even with the teleporters, we could have covered but a small portion of it. Sorolja rarely made public appearances, so the people had no idea how he spent most of his time. Yet I believe therein lies the key to the answers we seek. Ah, you're back too. I told Shayla all about your search. Galuja has told me all. We've previously tried to track down them. All of it. He previously tried to track down records of his mother, but came up empty-handed. With everyone's help, hopefully we can get somewhere this time. Ah, so you spoke with quite a few different people as well. Let's combine all our findings and see what conclusions we might draw. Actually kind of funny that, you know, like, I think people could consider, well, obviously. It's actually kind of funny that, you know, like, the main theme of this patch so far seems to be exactly what I want to know about, basically the most, but it's probably not gonna be, you know, like, the most interesting going forward, but I mean, the 0.1 and 0.2 patches have never really been ones that have too much of an interesting story, right? It's Maishans. It's mostly the 0.3 patches where, you know, like, stuff goes down, right? And then 4 or 5 setting up the next expansion. So, I actually like this topic. I was so interested in this. So Zoralja brought a retinue of Landsguard to Yassulani, among whom was a female Mamucha. His mission was to rid the region of a Tural withdrawal, and I believe it's safe to say that was the crisis in Yuweyawata he resolved. So he did that before the Rite of Succession then, right? If some of his troops stuck around for a time, perhaps to assist the villagers with recovery efforts, then they could have indeed gotten trapped in the dome. They would have been sticking around for quite some time, I would say. I guess it might have been... Actually, I'm not sure, but it might have been mentioned in the MSQ, right? Actually, maybe it was like literally before the Rite of Succession where they did that. So I guess it kind of works out with the timing. We also heard stories about the settlement in Yuweyawata. People lived there until nearly a decade ago, and Zoralja made regular visits. Oh, did he have a darling little girl in that village? Who would have thought he'd have a soft core? If he required secrecy, a location home to his most loyal followers would be ideal. And if this Mamucha woman had remained there, they would have had occasion to come in contact. They would have done a little more than just come in contact. Well, actually, no, that pretty much sums it up, I guess. Anywho, I see, but what could Zoralja have been doing in that village? Come in contact with certain people? I think we can answer that question. Very what it looks. In order to retrace Zoralja's steps, Raha and I spoke with the researcher who worked at Origenics. He said that approximately 20 years ago, a number of his colleagues were transferred to a research facility outside Everkeep, per the King's direct order. This is the first I've heard of such a facility. Only Vanguard was believed to have been under the King's jurisdiction. It was apparently being used to develop a new kind of weapon, but I'm afraid that was all we could learn. Yay, we gotta kill the weapon! Woohoo! It's plenty to go on. Even if the work there was classified, any materials and equipment needed would have been manufactured within Everkeep. So if we look into transportation records... There it is. The routes are full of detours and attempts of obfuscation, but large deliveries were being made to Yuweyawata, far too large for a mere village. There hasn't been any activities for years though. It's likely the facility has been decommissioned. Do you think that's where Do you think that's where my mother was? I'm a scat man. Actually not, but yeah, whatever. I shouldn't be, at least, but trip over my own words more often than not. I can't say for certain just yet, but I reckon there's a good chance. This is amazing! Even though no one remembers her, you managed to figure all of this out by just asking around for like 5 minutes. Wow. Each piece of the puzzle may reveal little on its own, but when we put several together, a picture begins to form. What the heck is that in the background? Is that a 3D printer? Probably a 3D printer. But what exactly is it doing? And even should memories fade, footprints remain to mark the path of those who walked before. They do have to. Repeat all these sentences, right? A lesson I learned in another life. Right. Easy to forget. The 100 years and more he spent in... Oh, Shadowbringers is so good. So you'll be investigating the secret facility in Yuweyawata then? And this time, I want you to come along, Galuja. Sure, yay! Secret research facilities, yay! That's a place for a child, yay! Decommissioned facilities, yay! With weapons, Yuweyawata is on the other side of the lake. To get there, you'll need to take a hover cargo from the drift downs. Alright, thank you, Shale. I want to say Sphene. Alright, is it already dungeon time? Looks like a dungeon. Yep, everybody. Does that mean I can't go in without Vuklamat because I can have Grahat here as a tank, right? Oh yes, hopefully. Weapons developed in secret with the aid of devoted followers. Nothing good will have come of this. A settlement in the outskirts that was originally Tanawatan as well, yes? I wonder if Yuweyawata is similar to it. While the researcher we spoke with remembered that he had colleagues, he couldn't recall details about any specific individuals. Not their names, not what they were like. Someone would have noticed if Sir Roger traveled from the drift downs. I expect to utilize the flying vehicle. Sure, why wouldn't he? Why don't we? I can also fly on my, like, bike that I bought in Solution 9, right? And other things. I have enough mounts for everybody to giddy up. We've seen how much has changed for the part of Yasulani that's on this side of the dome. I wonder what it's like on the other. What do you mean, this side of the dome? What? Oh, I guess the dome is just bigger as I imagined it to be. Other side of the lake. That's probably what she means with other side of the dome, right? Like, beyond the lake. So the hover cargo will take us across the lake. I've never been over there before. Still inside the dome, so I don't expect it'll be too different from here. Yeah, exactly. We'll likely encounter dangerous beasts, so the rest of us will go first. You follow then when it's safe to do so, alright? Alright. Be careful, everyone. Bye, Your Majesty. Yuweyawata Field Station, now accessible. Alright, obviously we'll go in with NPCs. But not Vuklamat.
Stand ever ready.
Nice. Love it. Can we take Alisaie as healer? No?
Would be a
Too bad.
pleasure as always.
Alright, there we go. Yuweyawata Field Station. First time. Blind, obviously. Ooh, I like. That's a beautiful forest. I didn't realize they had a forest. I didn't realize they had plants inside the dome. In like natural plants. They all look kind of shocking. Alright, come on, Graha. My father must have come here for a reason. Wait a second. There we go. Even the creatures here are electrified. Beasts here too. Well, yeah. That's what we were talking of. I forgot there was so many. Well, there weren't many changes to Ninja, but of course you can now move under the effect of Tenchi Chin. Already forgot that. And my Dokumori is now a AoE, finally! Unfortunately, it's a frontal cone, which is stupid, because Kunai's Bane is a circle AoE. So basically, you know, like for Kunai's Bane, I need to stand in between all the enemies. And then for Dokumori, I need to stand to the side of the enemies. So just kind of like, okay, why didn't you just make both of it circular? Well, it doesn't matter which one, but just the same, you know, it's kind of stupid. Right, this! Music is very interesting. Like, it's more of a somber, mysterious melody. Interesting new piece. I didn't actually expect them to have a new piece of music for this. And with the... It reminds me of the Xanacan theme. A little bit. Help me! Rah! I really like this forest. Really beautiful. The wrath of the heaven is frightening indeed. Alright, first boss. Let's see if they kept the difficulty curve. Or if it's gonna be... Wait, that's from Final Fantasy IX. That's literally a monster you encounter in Final Fantasy IX, actually during the hunting festival in Lindblom. Well, okay, interesting. Or are you throwing it behind you? Oh wow. Okay, hello. Paper toss. Paper toss? No idea. Oh no! That doesn't sound good. Oh god! That's quite large. Interesting, I like this. Kind of reminds me on the second boss of Vanguard. But not as busy, I guess. I love the second boss of Vanguard.
Something special for you.
I really like busy bosses, actually. Okay. Kill them all! That's what we're doing. Kinda literally. Barking Fisher. Don't want to stand in front of him, I think. But I don't know. Everybody else does, so maybe I should too. Didn't matter. Just some charged AoE attack. And that's it. Rinse and repeat. I love that we can move on to Tenchi-chin now. Alright. Yeah, that was for sure easier, I would say. Than the previous extremes, not extremes, expeditions. You know, like at least the character one and the clown one. What kind of research did they do here? Yeah. I ran a facility with a secret. Hardly any signs there was ever a village here. But yeah, but I already forgot that we should be... We're meant to be heading towards the village, right? Not just a research facility. While His Majesty Zoralja is not the first to conceive of transferring a beast soul into a person's body, safety and ethical concerns have ensured no earnest attempts have been made to date. Yet our king believes that there is no greater evil than to hinder the potential of man, and so he has ordered us to make this conception a reality. Conception? He would bolster our military might and break through into the outside world. If our research will further his ambition, then perhaps it is worth pursuing. Okay, for a second I was thinking he might be speaking about, you know, like, conception as in Jesus. I've never played a Resident Evil game, but that's pretty much how I would... Really? Oh, come on. Oh, there is more mobs, never mind. Ouch! Ah, save me!
I have you.
Oh, thanks for having me. Rotten research, I just realized. Those are researchers, right? Well, makes sense, I guess. Like, what other... Well, I guess I could have said subjects, right? But interesting, so what happened to the researchers then? Did Zoralja kill them? Like, because they knew something they shouldn't have known? Or did they die from something else? Interesting. Looks like a... Oh, DRT? Hey look, there's red light behind there. I wonder if we can go there, or could go there. I mean, obviously we can't. But wouldn't that be interesting? Our bodies are fragile vessels. Although the infusion of another person's soul confers strength and vitality, the soul of a beast yields mixed results. Even when stripped of memories, a feral soul can induce psychological instability in the subject. I suspect this is because primal instincts remain, and while a certain amount of bestial ferocity is expected, and I dare say welcomed, too many such souls can lead to physical mutations. Yeah, we've seen that multiple times in Vanguard and also with Zoralja, obviously. For now, our objective shall be to determine the threshold beyond which a body is at risk of uncontrolled mutation. And also the Arcadian, of course. So I wonder if this all predates the Arcadian, right? Because it seems like at that point, using feral souls was kind of normalized already. What the heck? There's still in there. Is it blood? Oh, what the heck? This is quite something. If this is actually blood, it might have. I'm not 100% sure, but it might just be blood, right? That really. Wow. Okay. This is something. Oh. Well, hello. Didn't expect them come running around the corner like that. I wanted to read the researcher's note there. And I guess it has to wait now. At least Alfino can keep a tank alive and pulling, you know, like 2 groups. I've had trust runs with trust and duty support where the healer just couldn't keep up with healing a tank when you pull the second group. So at least Alfino can. Good to know. Then again, trust system is of course different than the duty support, right?
Hold still.
I'm not even sure if the trust system is continued in Dawntrail. I think I've stopped leveling them somewhere through Shadowbringers. I'm not even sure if they are in Endwalker or if it's just duty support now. The rate of transfiguration may be dictated by the potency of the soul consumed. We've experimented with fiends of great power, but mutations were observed after the infusion of merely a single soul. No better was this phenomenon illustrated than with pure Atticus. His body was altered irreparably, and he lost all capacity for rational thought. While the primary objective of this research was to utilize the soul of a Tural, I struggle to see a path forward. An alternative approach must be considered. Is that Atticus? If the source of our failures thus far has been the inability of our bodies to contain feral souls, what if we were to reverse the process? By purging a beast of its memories and infusing it with a man's soul, one still possessed of its own memories, we stand to gain absolute control over a vessel of great power. My subordinate who first proposed this brilliant hypothesis shall have the honor of being the first to transcend our meager limits. Great! I must prepare his soul for extraction at once. Overseer Caniloka. No, that's not Atticus, okay. I made an oopsie there. Dark Souls! Oh my god. Yes, please. I would love some Dark Souls in this game. Free spirits. Free spirits or free spirits? Like freeing them or... Oh, well, okay, he is freeing them, yeah. Okay. Phantom Flood. And that would be an interesting mechanic if it is combined with something else. On its own, it's not too difficult. At least not when you're not casting a caster, right? That literally has to stand still. Deal damage. Lost hope. Ah, really? Really? I mean, I literally have a... I can literally cheat with this. Ah, this was made for a ninja, I see. Bloodburst. Now we also have Bloodborne after Dark Souls. More free spirits. There we go. Bang, got hit. Oh, what did I press? My chat just randomly came alive. More Dark Souls. Dark Souls 2. Yeah. I've played it. I actually kind of liked it. But Dark Souls 1 was better. Okay. Yeah, I literally have that. That's a ninja cheat engine activated for that one mechanic. Whoa. I can hardly believe my eyes. Let's get a closer look. Very, you want to? Jesus. That's cool. Hi. Alright. I'm assuming the final boss is gonna be inside there. Something's wrong! Don't rush ahead. Whoa. How does that roar? Did it come from inside the storm? I'm assuming that's the Tural withdrawal infused with someone's soul. Which is an interesting concept, I have to say. Oh god. Well, okay. I guess. Even Alfino can't keep Graha alive for some reason, but he can keep me alive.
I have you.
That's weird. Guess he went a little overzealous. With damage or something. I can heal me, but not Graha. What the heck? That's kind of weird. I didn't actually look at what happened. Because, you know, like, some enemies were already dead, so, like, why would the tank die now? That's kind of weird. Hello. Is it an Earth to roll withdrawal? Looney Piatti. Oh, now I get the rabbit meme I saw from the Rabbit of Death. I don't know what it was called, from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Why is Galucha in front of us? What the heck? Shouldn't he be behind us? Hey, look, it's a cute little bunny. Can I keep it? Yeah, sure, Galucha. Why wouldn't you? That's actually it. Wow. That's a really cool arena. Also a pretty small arena, actually. What the heck? Alright. Let's get this bunny. Leprin Loaf. Oh, hello. Something moves beneath us. What? Okay. What the heck? Well, that's not what I expected. I cannot stand there, okay. I wasn't sure if the AoE remaining behind would actually deal damage or not. Oh, that reminds me on Ruby Weapon. Because it is literally Ruby Weapon. I like this boss. That's a cool one. Even though it's not been really moving for the last 10 years. It feels like... okay. Hello. Oh, that's interesting. I like that. Oh, really? That's a cool boss. I like this one. Very different than what we had so far. I like how he destroys the center of the arena and then does mechanics around, basically ring around the rosy, right? That's really cool. I like this. Looking forward to the next Savage tier, actually.
Are you all right?
But I hopefully go a little more ham with interesting mechanics. I mean, this tier also had interesting mechanics. But I hope they're gonna get, you know, like, more inventive and more experimental in the next tier. Well, and the ultimate. I mean, that's gonna be fun. literally starts next week. Oh. Yeah, for some reason I didn't think we could actually fall down there, I have to say. I thought there would be an invisible wall. Great, now I can do it all over again. Well, okay. Stupid me, I guess. Well, at least we can now see this whole fight in its glory again, right? And this time not stay standing in the remaining AoEs. They almost look alive. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It kinda looks like literally alive worms.
Are you all right?
Yeah, fine so far. Thank you for asking, Alfino. I really like the fight though. It's really cool. Yeah, I risked it for the biscuit there. She even says watch your step and I didn't realize. Ah. Come on! What am I doing? What is... Hello? Hello? Why didn't he do anything? She... Like, I know I had Tenji Chin active, but she just didn't do anything. It didn't matter what I pressed. And like, that's the downside of being able to move on a Tenchi Chin. You cannot move to cancel it anymore.
Are you all right?
So that's kinda annoying. Clever. Alright, let's get this over with. Trial. Almost trial. Almost made us wipe again. Can I still fall down? can't still fall down. Okay. Oh man. That was too close. It mustn't have been easy to imprison such a creature. Come on, Alfino. Tyrant of Tyrol, truly a fitting description. It's still breathing, if only faintly. I felt the earth shake while the blah 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 blah. But, yeah, I did it, somehow. You weren't even part of the fight.
For all the talk of my brother felling this beast, he only imprisoned it, like Vali Armanda.
Hmm.
From what I could tell, they sought to transfer people's souls and memories into bestial vessels at that facility.
Yeah.
The Tyrol explains the need for a remote location. It was doubtless their prime subject, though I expect Zoralja did not foresee the opportunities it presented when he imprisoned the creature.
Probably not, right? Not knowing about this whole thing back then. Echo time!
And so, in order to prevent the breakdown of the individual, I instead seek to transfer their soul into the body of the beast.
This would allow one to wield the power of a Tyrol Vidral.
In theory, our initial experiments will involve...
So whose soul was it? It was not Kaniloka because we killed Kaniloka before,
I am
right?
confident we will be able to bring even the mightiest under our control.
And what becomes of those who offer their souls?
As they won't be able to return to their original forms, we must consider them lost. But the sacrifice will be worthwhile, for the army you stand to gain will far surpass any composed of mechanical soldiers.
Very well. Recruit volunteers and begin at once.
At least volunteers, you know, like, at least they didn't just round up people.
Your Majesty, I shall return to the observatory and see to the necessary preparations.
Assuming he was actually speaking of volunteers and not just volunteers. Oh look, there she is.
So, you've given him permission?
Teshalja.
Teshalja.
Kaniloka. As one of the Landsguard's finest chirurgeons, your knowledge may be of use in his experiments. You will also watch him closely. In what you learn, you will report to me. You object to his project? Or are you incapable of performing this duty?
No, Your Majesty. Whether we shelter within the dome or expand beyond it, we require great power, but with no one to rely upon. We must take that power for ourselves, even if the means are questionable. I will do as you command. But if Kaniloka's work bears fruit, I wish to beg a boon.
Beg a boon?
What do you desire?
Something that I had accepted I would never have in Zolal.
She was the one wanting a child.
Lived would forever be beyond me. That it was foolish to covet. But here and now, it is close. So very, very close.
Or is she just speaking of him? Okay, I guess him.
Perform your duty to my satisfaction, and anything you desire.
So it wasn't his choice. Well, it kind of makes sense. Like, he doesn't seem like the type who wants a child, first of all. And second of all, he also doesn't really look like They
That which I seek does not lie within this
feel like the
realm.
type to, you know, like go whoring around
I cannot prove the miracle. But
or have mistresses or whatever.
what you seek is at hand, and you may claim it, for it has no value to me.
Yay, no headaches. No headaches from Echo. We really got the hang of it now.
All right?
I saw Zoralja and I already forgot her name. Something with an L, I think, right?
Tayshelja.
No, with a T. T-Shelcha.
Could she be my mother?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Like the people in the outskirts said, few Mamulja lived in the Yasulani. I can't imagine many other Upiko women were trapped in the dome. That being the case, she could well be the one.
The one, the only one.
Roka returned to. Could it not be part of the research facility? We might learn something about Tayshelja there.
Hmm.
That's where we're going next then.
Soul Center. It seems this Kaniluka was in charge here. From your recounting, he was quite dedicated to Zarulja. The villagers were likely monitoring the imprisoned Dural Vidral at Zarulja's behest, and at some point they became involved in the research of souls. Tayshelja, you said her name was. I wonder what her story is. That he should be able to peer into the Dural Vidral's past. I wonder what that implies for the beast's consciousness while it was sealed away. They would just slay Gululja's mother. At least, you know, like her soul. Because it wasn't Kaniluka, obviously. And it obviously wasn't Zaralja. Oops. Sorry, Gululja. And that the danger is behind us, it's starting stinking. It started sinking in just how unsettling this place is. Hard to believe it used to be a village. I wish I could see into the past like you. Then I could see people who are gone. Because there aren't any other Mamulja women here, for a long time I couldn't even imagine what my mother looked like. But when I visited Tuliolal and saw some, I was finally able to picture her in my mind. And one day I hope I can see what she actually looked like as well. Maybe there's a picture somewhere, right? Before she presumably became what we just killed. Among the abandoned, Krile is eager to begin searching the research facility. While we've discerned the purpose of the research conducted here, the traces of it that remain might afford us greater insight into what came of it. Let us take a look around for information as well as a way to the upper level. I like how they have us, you know, like go back through dungeons in explorer mode, basically, right? For some story as well, instead of just being able to, you know, like, I wonder if they just mainly did this, you know, like, because people usually, or mostly, go in with other people, right? With other players. And then most of the time they just run through as quickly as possible. And don't really have time to take in the sights of all the people we murdered and were murdered before here in this facility and stuff like that. So it gives everyone a, you know, like, another chance of appreciating the beautiful sights and dungeons that they crafted. What happened to the people here? Did they all leave? Or did we already meet them? I'm pretty sure they're all dead, and we all already met them, yeah. What happened to them exactly? I still don't know. Zombies. To think that people actually volunteered their souls for these experiments. Success was far from guaranteed, and even in the best case, they would cease to be men. Was their devotion to Zeralja so absolute? Or maybe they weren't volunteering at all. After all. It won't open, and I don't think it'll yield to our shoulders either. We'll have to do it the old-fashioned way and find a key. Just use your feet. You never try to barge in a door with your shoulder. You're just gonna dislocate your shoulder. Use your feet. A lift can be seen behind the wrought iron gate. As sturdy as it appears, the gate will likely resist attempts to force it open. Mangled corpse. Great, that's what I wanted to do before I go to bed today. Have a look at the mangled corpse. A channel lies next to the body. I was transferred to Yuweyawata station in order to train the villagers in the use of electro technology. While a child can quickly learn to operate common contraptions, it will be no easy thing for them to attain the requisite skill to develop new weapons, ones which require no less than the manipulation of souls. Thankfully, 2 of my pupils have demonstrated great aptitude in the field. Kaniloka, the village chief, and Tishalja, a field chirurgeon. So both of them were actually... It makes sense that they were Yasulani before. Right, since they were devoted to Zeralja. Further driven by their loyalty to our king, their growth has been remarkable. I dare to hope that, before long, they will be able to carry out their duties without further instruction, and I may be relieved of my duty. Well, I guess you were relieved of your duty at some point, somehow. You find nothing that resembles the verification key. Perhaps you should search elsewhere. I wonder what Beck Luke would make of this research into transferring souls. Well, I mean, you can tell them. Tell her. Or I can tell her, I guess. The researchers likely moved between the upper and lower levels. Perhaps you can find a key among their belongings. It makes me angry to think about what they did here. A lot of things make you angry, Vuklamot. They're recruiting volunteers for a new experiment. I know I'm not as bright as the others, but they wouldn't laugh at me if I was stronger than them. This might be my chance. Soul transferred a few days ago. I can write. Can write good? Yes. I am good. Very good. Getting hard to control strength. Today, bit of hand of feeder. Cannot help it, so strong. Hungry. Always hungry. Cannot control, eat. I must eat. Am eater. Must eat. But nothing that resembles a verification key. I am eater. Supplies for the staff are neatly arranged within the cabinet. Among the various items is a manual outlining regulations and tranquilizing gas to be used in emergencies. You dig deeper and find the verification key. Perhaps it can be used to open the iron gate. Well, I guess the tranquilization gas wasn't of use when all went to shit. I found the key. Great, I'll call the others. Seems the key can be used to operate the lift as well. Up we go. So this is the observatory. Yeah, that's a big screen. I like that. Would also like such a big screen. Didn't expect it to be similar, but this is a far cry from the template it held Valigamanda. All the machinery appears to still be in operation. I expect there are auxiliary systems in place to ensure that monitoring can continue even in emergencies. Warnings indicate various anomalies related to the seal's failure, most likely. For a blessing, we managed to fell the beast before it could cause harm. Right then, let's see if we can find some clues about Galuja's mother. I think I can use this terminal. Dale taught me how. There's so much data. I don't, but we should look at. I don't know. Perhaps we can narrow down the search by inputting the name Tishalja. That's more letters than there is in Tishalja. Ah, it brought up a lot of results. Google page 1. They all seem to say the same thing. Tishalja, Administrator of Experimental Treatments, Research Logs. This sounds good, doesn't it? Well, until we get to know what happened to her. Chances are the data is encrypted. Why? How would you know that? Why? Since when are you an expert in any of this technology that we don't even have over in Eorzea or anything? Like, what the heck? How do you even know what encryption is? And even if not, it will take considerable time to get through it all. Let us take it with us to the back room and have Shale analyze it. Agreed. Alright, I transfer it to the storage device I brought. USB stick. Oh. Wouldn't it be like terabytes of data? How would that fit on a small storage device? Well, I guess they just took whatever it spit out about the T-shell jar. There, it's finished. Thank you so much for bringing me all the way here, everyone. If you're happy and you know it, if you're happy, then so am I. Besides, I was able to learn more about my brother as well. It was a fruitful adventure for the both of us. And here we are. The authorities will doubtless wish to be informed about the facility and its contents. But first things first, let us deliver the date to Shale. The Shayla gave me the storage device before we left. She said that we'd probably need it, and we did. Data will be in good hands with Shale. I come back. Galuja has already given me the storage device. There looks to be a wealth of data, all of which is encrypted, so I'll need time to process everything. In that case, Alice and I may take ourselves around the city and check on the people. Aye, the mood has us a bit worried. I don't know if there's anything we can do to help, but we'll see. Understood. I'll let you know as soon as I finish my work. Thank you. I'll see you again soon. Geode. Guidance of the Hhetso. Geode's concern has writ plain upon his face. Alice isn't wrong. The mood out there is still grim. Some of the Tural remember a time before they were dependent on the Sol system, but even they're unsettled and wondering aloud if they'll have the chance to reunite with old friends and family before they pass on. A good reason though. The journey home won't be an easy one for those who've grown old. That's why it's mostly been younger folks who've been leaving for Tural, ones with no elders to care for. Word of that problem has reached us in Tuliolal. My brother is doing all he can to see the Shak-Tural Railroad restored to operation so that people may come and go more freely. Unfortunately, the tracks only go as far as Vanguard, so some traveling by foot will still be necessary. Do they have like flying bikes? Why don't they use flying bikes and stuff like that? Even so, the railroad would make things a sight easier. How long before it's back in service? I couldn't say. When I left for this visit, Kona seemed reluctant to make promises. But while Shale's working on the data, we could go and see the state of it by ourselves. Trolley time! Yay. Who shall own his station then? I'll make sure to keep Kona informed. Trolley time. Power of Resolve and Yomi Tanshi to boot. What can I do you for? We're hoping for some good news about the railroad. There's an increasing number of people looking to return to Tural that can't make the journey on foot. I see. As it happens, the Vow of Reason is also on his way here to take stock of the situation. And there he is. Scratched on his way. And Aaronville! You look different. New gear. Interesting. Is that how the new gatherer gear looks like? Looking good. Did our little bun... Oh. Did our little bun finally outgrow his old clothes? Oh, come on. Why doesn't she make a face? It goes with it. Ugh, stop that. As you well know, my previous attire was that of a cleaner, and I have chosen a different path. It was time for a change. You hear about the railroad too? It was in part for my sake that the original Dawnblazer was sacrificed, so I felt it only right that I assist with its replacement. Speaking of which... I assume Lamati has explained the growing urgency of the need. What have you to report? The new locomotive was on track for completion, but we are having difficulty pulling her into the station, in a manner of speaking. You see, when we used the Dawnblazer to get into the dome, urgency outweighed all other considerations, but now we're back to the original problem. How to run the railroad without upsetting the inhabitants of Hhetso. Hhetso. Oh yeah, right, I remember. That is the Runique, though the Hhetso that follow them are none too pleased about their Hhetso being spooked by the noise of the locomotive either. The solution I have devised to quieten the railroad should address that complaint, but the silent train presents a different danger. The Runique will need to be deterred from wandering across the tracks. What's it called? Cowflingers? Bull bars. Bull bars! That's what we need, obviously, because that's literally why they're, you know, like the old steam locomotives that had this grate in front of the locomotive. That's called a bull bar, so that it, you know, like, when they would run into a buffalo or a cow, because of course, you know, like, in the West, well, what they called the West back then, right? In the early West, in the Wild West, there were a lot of cows. Well, not cows, but lots of cattle, of course, in the prairie. And yeah, they've just stopped on the tracks sometimes. So, you know, like, at least you wouldn't want the locomotive to be damaged. So you had the bull bars that, you know, like, would basically fling the cows away whenever you hit them. And probably kill them. Yeah, but, I mean, sacrifices are made for progress, right? And I suppose we can't just blow the whistle at them, or they'll panic and be part of the grazing area again. Aren't the railroads plotted to avoid the Runique's preferred grazing areas though? It's odd that they're getting so close in the first place. The Runique's grazing patterns have shifted since the tracks were laid. I am not certain why, but I intend to ask the people of Hhetso for their insight. As a major proponent of the railroad, I have a duty to assist in this matter, and I too would hear what the Hhetso have to say about it. They are the ones most affected after all. I believe it would be best to begin by consulting their leader, Hhetso. The rest of you can accompany us to the Hhetso encampment if you like. Yeah, but we need to end this recording here.